Hello, thanks for joining. Thanks for joining me down in my basement. This is the video for day 5 of the Ready Group 12 Days of Christmas. And Gary said that we're supposed to. Do you like my fire, by the way? I thought it'd be, put some atmosphere, into the thing that we're out in the woods somewhere. And let's see, 5 stories of bushcraft or the community, or he said don't put much thought into it. That's interesting. And just do what you think. So, actually, it's kind of in a order from youngest to old, but not really. But it's kind of like that. The first memorable experience I had was me and my dad went up from where we live, about 15 kilometers away, when I was around 13, 14. We took a little tent, and we took a little bacon. No, we didn't. And we pitched a tent by the stream, and we caught a couple of nice-looking trout, and we cooked it. And I'll never forget there, he had a little bit of cooking oil in a bufferin pill bottle. Bufferin, I think it used to be called. And I thought, what the hell are you doing putting pills into the thing? But even before that, and we were miles from any other house, the St. Bernard showed up. And this huge dog, purebred, full-grown dog showed up. And he'd jump in the stream, and we were saying, yeah, we'll never catch anything now, but blah, blah, blah. And then he stuck around, and then afterwards we went to sleep, and on my dad's side of the tent, the St. Bernard was outside, but he was outside, but he kept on rolling inside, so he was half on Dad and half in the tent, blah, 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 like that. And he stayed there all night, and then in the morning when we were just getting ready to go, somebody came down and, that's my dog. So he took it away, yeah. I think, St. Bernards are probably pretty expensive. I can't remember if he had a collar on or not. Now, I have to say stories about the army, of course. One of the funniest one was at Dark 30 in Gagetown, New Brunswick. And I was driving for a course, sergeant's course, and it wasn't light out. And they got me up, and everybody was getting up, and I got the Coleman stove going. And I was the driver of the tank. And so there's a driver, the instructor, and the 2 students. But anyway, I got up there, and the bacon was cut in half. So, about this long. And I couldn't use any light, so I just used a right angle flashlight. That half the time didn't work, but it had a red filter in it because we were tactical. So I was trying my best to cook them and stuff like that. And finally the DS, our instructor, happened over like that, and he took out white light because he's allowed to do that. He's shone his light down into the frying pan, and these pieces of bacon that were pretty nice and stuff like this were about this big and burnt as black as can be. Because red doesn't pick up black in the photo schematic thing of things. So that was always fun. Hey, and tank food is always fun. Because as a driver especially, there's a turret crew, gunner, loader, and commander, and then you're like the hull spawn down there. Like anything that they make up there, like a sandwich, they just, you want something? And they just, like this, eh? You take it and eat out. Most of the time you get a sandwich with big greasy fingerprints on it, because the loader made the sandwiches, but he didn't clean his hands, so. But added a certain je ne sais quoi to it. That and that's the first time I had peanut butter and cheese whiz sandwiches. But for the most part, we had a lot of fresh breakfasts in Gagetown and in Germany and here. So you ate a lot of bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches. Anyway, I'm probably going on too long for this, but another thing happened when we were out camping in Germany. Where I was on course to be a master corporal, so it was kind of infantry stuff, and we were out in the German countryside. Matter of fact, there was a big bar just close to where our tree line is, where we were sitting there, you know, living on rations and sitting in a dirt hole, and we could hear them all woo whooping up down there. I had to go out in sentry, so me and this other guy, it was nighttime, of course. We went in sentry like that, and we had already laid out some trip flares. So we got attacked by the other half of the course, and somebody tripped the trip flare, and when we, you know, it's a wire along the ground like this, and you go by it, and a big flare lights up the area like that. So I emptied about 3 mags out of the old FNC2 in their general direction, and radioed in and all that good stuff. And the way we York Sentry is, you go out for an hour, you go out for 2 hours, but after an hour, a new guy comes out. So you're always only an hour with the guy. So I had to go back. I got relieved. I had to go back to the trench. I didn't have to, but I went back to the trench. And after this attack by the other half course, and I noticed a lot of feathers on the way back to my trench. And we had a big fighting trench going there that was about 8 feet by 2 feet by 6 feet, or whatever. And then a thing over there where you could sleep. So lots of feathers and stuff like that. And I was thinking, what's all the feathers? Did somebody rape a chicken, or did it, what happened, eh? And then I walked a little further towards my trench, and there was a sleeping bag, one of our down feather sleeping bags, half burnt and melted, and that's where all the feathers came from. So I was laughing about that until I got back to my trench, and lo and behold, it was my sleeping bag. One of the guys in my unit too, Joe Worrell, he actually threw a smoke grenade towards our lines and went into our trench and lit fire to my sleeping bag. And so that's why it was all hauled out, and feathers was everywhere. So I'm not sure why. There was 3 of us in the trench. So, and there was always one that was on sentry. So for the rest of the night, I got through. We call it hot bagging, where the guy gets out of his sleeping bag and you go right back in. It's not really a great idea if you've got crabs or lice or something like that. But we got through, and the next day I got a new sleeping bag. I can tell I'm going too long for this. Anyway, it's entertaining stuff, I think. So we got the St. Bernard, we got the black bacon, we got the feather trench. Then we got moose. And this is going to be more modern time, but after I got to the Army in 2006, it was probably around 2008 or 7, I was driving from Chalk River, Ontario, which is just up the road from Petawawa, and being the frugal bastard I am, and because I like, you know, sleeping out in the under the stars kind of thing, I just pulled the truck up into a little. I got off the highway, took a right, and there was a little open field with woods all around it. So I pulled up in there, backed the truck up, and then I set up my sleep kit there. I'd already picked up a 6-pack of beer, so I drank them. And I was with my, not Ben, but my other dog, Jan, that of the half German Shepherd, half Black Lab, and half Wolf. So she was with me. And just as it got light in the morning, I could hear this thump, thump, thump. And I woke up. Ben's barking. And Jen was already up and sprung up in the back of the truck, because I just slept in the back of the truck with no tarp or anything. I heard this thump, thump, thump coming, eh? And I said, well, what the heck is that? And Jan could look over the side of the truck. So I got up, and about 20 feet away was a big moose. And I think this was in the spring, so I don't know if it was a male or... It didn't have any horns, but it was a big moose anyway. And I can see now where people, if they hear a moose going through the woods where they're from, where they think it's a Sasquatch, because that's what they sound like, the big thump, thump, thump. Anyway, as soon as I put my head up, and the moose seen me, and I seen him, or her, Jang jumped out of the truck and chased him away. That's the wolf in her, I guess. Now, you said something embarrassing, so it's not really embarrassing, but this is a story too. When you said something good, bad, stuff like this, I'll always think of this as a bad but good memory. And that was when I was still in Germany. We went up to Amsterdam, and if you know anything about Amsterdam, you know that's sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Which for me was Heineken and sex, and no way sex. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. It was sex, no drugs. The drugs were Heineken, and the rock and roll were a lot of little small bars. So I think there was 4 of us that went up there, and plus it was another 4 around that came up on their own. And we're all at the same hotel, and we go out, get shit-faced. And then, of course, there's a big red light district there, the Canal District. And so we do our thing, and I stopped by, and I always told the young guys, do not go to Amsterdam or Hamburg in Germany. Don't go there alone, because somebody's going to pick on you, and it's going to cost a lot of money. Ended up that night, I was alone, and I was outside. This lady of the night got into a fight with one of her customers, and I think she had a basin there, and she was throwing water on him, or maybe it was a pee bucket, and she was throwing pee on him. But these 4 young guys come up, swarthy-looking bastards, eh? And we were all laughing like this, eh? And then one of them says, hey, we're going to go to a good bar with a really good sex show. Hey, you want to go with us? And I said, hey, yeah, sure, yeah. It was only around 1 in the morning, so... So off we go. And I'm joking, and with these... They were only like 16 or 17, eh? And we went down by the old church, back up. Then all of a sudden we were next to a canal with nobody there, but me and these 4 kids. That's when they pulled out, 2 of them at least pulled out their knives, and they were shouting at me, "You want to die? You want to die? Give me your money! You want to die?" We were like that, and I said, "No, I don't want to die," because I knew I only had 24 guilders left, which is more or less $25 left, because I had spent it all before on sex, Heineken, and rock and roll. So they had my wallet out. They were looking through my wallet, and do you have any credit cards? No, I got no credit cards at all. $24, he says. 24 guilders, sorry. And he says, you Canadians come up here with a lot more money than that. And I says, yes. But it's back at the hotel with all my chums, and if you want to go back there and fight us all, you can have it. But I don't think you want to do that. And one of them looked at my watch. I had an 8th Canadian Czar watch. When you go like that, you want my watch? And he said, yeah, sure. I gave him my watch. It was only about a $20 watch. And they put away their knives, and I said, yeah, it was a good try for you guys. You just picked on the wrong Canadian, and blah, blah, blah. And we ended up walking back to the central, or to the touristy area, kind of thing like that. You know, more or less arm in arm, and talking, shooting the shit and stuff like that. And we got back like that, and I said, oh, well, good luck on your future endeavors and stuff like that. Cheers. And they all said cheers. They weren't Dutch, but they were somebody from some foreign country. Swarthy bastards, anyway. So anytime, for a while after that, anybody asked me the time, I says, I'm not concerned with such things. I have a boy in Amsterdam keeping track of those things for me. And then going back to the hotel, after a few stops for more beers, And again, right around the old church, this guy comes out of the shadows like this, and he's got a little thing like this. Hey, you want to try my cocaine? And he shoves it up like this, and then once he gets to my nose, and I wasn't taking cocaine at the time, he spills it over my mustache. And ah, you spilled my cocaine. You must pay for me. And I looked at him. I says, bud, I've been through this before, and I got no money to spend for that. Good try. You know, it's good to see the criminals of Amsterdam are trying, but you messed up. And I talked to him for about 10 minutes about everything. And then I left and made my way back to the hotel. Anyway, I think this is way too long, but that's 5 stories of mine with bushcraft, army life, and some of the stupidity that we got up to in Amsterdam and other places in Europe when we were young. I think I was only 22 then, 22 or 23, something like that, maybe 24. Army guy, anyway. So thanks, Gary, for it's a good subject. If anybody goes through the end of this, then I'm sure they'll have a chuckle anyway. And that's about it for now. My fire's out. My beer is getting close to empty. Oh, I got some Fireball though. That's for James in Wyoming. And I guess we'll finish this with the usual Chris. Out. And we'll see how much I had to edit out this. I don't think I know anything. I think it's great.